Hey moms, how are you this week? I know it's been a busy one and that we're coming off of Mother's Day, and often that means playing catch up, getting things done around the house or getting things done around the business that we neglected that day because we were pampering ourselves or we were having some special celebrations. So I'd love to check in with you and see how your week went. Go ahead and please hit reply to the email and tell me how everything's going, what you're working on, what's new, what's exciting. But the fact that we're coming off Mother's Day kind of like brought up this whole new thing for me. I actually watched a video put out by my friend Kelsey of The Home Loving Wife, and she was talking about how Mother's Day can often be looked at as kind of the mommy New Year's. We can look at that day as kind of a day on the calendar where we mark off and we say, okay, here I've been celebrated for what I've done for the whole year up until now. What kind of changes do I want to make? What kind of experiences do I want to have this year versus last year? And I think that's kind of a really cool mentality, that we get a little bit of a reset almost in the middle of our year, and we can kind of change things around or see what's been working for us and what hasn't. And today I wanted to kind of jump on that topic, and I wanted to talk to you about confidence, and what that means to you and how you go about your life in a confident way, or if you do. So many of us have messages that we hear every day from childhood or from things that we tell ourselves, and that kind of knocks down our confidence. Maybe we had a talent that we loved when we were little, but someone told us, maybe you love to sing, and someone told you, you're a terrible singer. And so that just kind of shut down your passion, and maybe you only sing to yourself now, or you sing when no one can hear you. Or maybe you were a writer and you ran to show someone in your family your favorite story that you'd written, and they kind of just brushed you off. And from that point on, you've kind of kept a lot of your talents to yourself. And this is really common, and we don't realize it at the time, but even these just little things when we're brushed off when we're small can have a huge impact on our confidence as we grow up. And I think that that's really important to know, is that sometimes we feel down on ourselves, or we feel like we're incapable of things, and it's really just these small little voices in the back of our head that have been with us for a really, really long time. And so today, I just kind of wanted to talk about some of those messages that we're hearing and how we can kind of cut through them. On the blog this week, I talked about a couple things that I think that can really help with this. The first thing that we talked about on Tuesday was the fact that the goal-setting process for mompreneurs is extremely different than any other business owner, whether they're single or whether they're married, or even if your kids are older. When you're starting or growing a business at the stage of our lives that we're in right now with our young kids, it can be really hard. And setting goals, it can seem like every day is either, the one step forward and the two steps back. You finally got a big client project and you landed your ideal client, but then your baby gets sick and you have to put work off on it for a week and change your deadline. Or, a lot of times it's hurry up and wait. Everything is so ready, and we've got daycare lined up, and we've got our office set up, and we're ready to work, but then there's no clients coming in, or no projects to do, or no orders. So I understand that, and I know that the work process and setting goals, that can have a hard, that can hit our confidence really hard, and it can beat us down when we feel like we're so ready for something to happen, but it's just not quite there yet. And so in that blog post, we go through what we call SMART goals, which everybody has kind of heard of before. And a SMART goal is something that is specific, something that's measurable, something that's attainable, something that's realistic, and something that's time sensitive. But I think that these go a really long way in our confidence as mompreneurs, especially when we look at the attainable and the realistic part, because our situations are different than other entrepreneurs. And when we see business owners, skyrocket to the top, we don't know the kind of hours that they're putting in. They could be working 14, 15-hour days and barely eating or anything like that. But that's because they don't have the obligations that we do, or even the joys and the benefits of being moms that we do. One of the great things of having kids to take care of is that it reminds us to take care of ourselves. We have to stop and eat. We have to stop working and play with our kids or whatever. And sometimes it can seem like a distraction, but honestly, those are really actually healthy for us and beneficial for us. So when you're setting your goals and you look at that attainable and that realistic part, make sure you're taking into account that you have a beautiful family and that you have kids and you have different obligations, but that's awesome and that's wonderful. And so something that might take another business owner 3 weeks might end up taking us, 2 months, but that's okay. And if we can get a realistic about that and we can realize what's attainable in a time frame, that can go a really long way in boosting our confidence. That's not to say that our businesses won't be as successful as single or entrepreneurs with no kids. They just are going to look different, and that's totally fine. As long as we can kind of get in that mindset, then we can cut through the things that are bringing our confidence down. And so along that same lines of mindset, the other blog post that went out on Thursday was all about visualization and how we can keep our dreams in the forefront of our minds and how that can really cut through a lot of the stuff that's eating away at our confidence. So, thinking about what the main emotion we want to feel from our business is. Is that excitement? Is it an adventure that you're your own boss and that you're running a company and that you're making money? Or is it fulfillment and contentment? Those things are very different, and they're going to feel very different in our bodies, and they're going to look very different in our minds. So creating something like a vision board that not only has kind of your main goals on it, but also pictures that evoke that emotion. So if running a business is awesome and an adventure to you, maybe you have images of, like, I don't know, a zip line or something like that gives you that feeling of that adrenaline rush, and that this is something I wake up every day excited about. If it's something that just is making you feel fulfilled and that you're reaching your passion, maybe you have images on there that are just really cozy and comfy and make you feel warm inside. But visualization goes a really long way in boosting our confidence because it cuts through the crap. Honestly, it cuts through the crap, and it just keeps that feeling and that picture of what we're striving for and what we're doing all of this for in the front of our mind. And visualizing how a successful business is going to impact our families. What about the vacations that we can take because we're bringing in extra income? Or what about, the things that our kids ask for and we don't have to necessarily tell them no? Granted, of course, your value system, maybe you make them do some chores or you make them work for it. But the fact that it's available to you because you run a business, you can go on their field trips, you can do some of this stuff, you have the flexible schedule. I think that's the reason that we all do this in the first place. So remembering that and remembering your why and remembering the emotion that you want to achieve in your life by being a business owner can go so far in boosting your confidence. You can see I have stuff all over my office that reminds me of why I do this. And yes, it gets hard, and yes, I have the goals that I'm striving for, and I see the success of other people, and I'm not quite where I want to be, but keeping these visual reminders and remembering to be really specific in our goals can cut through some of this outer noise that we're hearing that is taking us away from moving forward, and also cut through that inner voice that we're hearing that can keep us from feeling as confident. So no matter where you are in your business, you can do this. you can cut through the doubt, you can move forward, and you can grow. And it doesn't matter if it's small or if it's slower than others. What matters is that it's true to you and it's true to your business. And I think that when we dig down deep and we can get really honest with ourselves about why we're doing this, what the reward is, how it's going to benefit us, and how it benefits our family, find that little glimmer and just grab onto it. Because there's going to be rough days and there's going to be dark times, and we want to pull our hair out or we want to throw things against the wall and say, why am I even doing this? But if we can remember that little glimmer and just hold on to it and ride it through the dark times, then we can really find some confidence in what we're doing. And you know, there's something to be said about fake it until you make it. Even getting on this video today, I was a little shaky, and you could tell from the start. I was like, how am I going to talk about confidence when I don't always feel confident myself? But there's something about just being in the practice and just doing it. And when you see the results, or when you finish and you check something off your list, that right there can be a boost of confidence. So just keep going and keep moving forward. I am always here. You can always reach out to me, reply to these emails if you need a little guidance or if you're feeling a little stuck and want a confidence booster. I'm always here. This is what I do. This is my passion, and I want to help mompreneurs succeed, and I want to help you succeed. So remember, hit reply. Tell me what you're up to. Tell me what's going on in your business. Tell me what's going on with your babies and your family. I want to know those things, and I want to get to know you and get to form a relationship with you so I can help you get through any of these obstacles that are breaking down your confidence. So remember, just get really specific and really realistic about what it is you're trying to do, and that it might look different than other people, and that's perfectly okay. And then keep that vision of why you're doing this and what you want to feel. Keep that in the forefront of your mind and just go forward on your own path. And I think that that is a really great way to keep your confidence up. And I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I cannot wait to be in your inbox next week. Have a good one.